Last week we covered the how to go about in small talk, and we did a sort of A to Z for listeners to help them in their networking. And this week, along a similar vein, I was prompted by something my wife said to me that there's a lady where we live, and I won't name them, obviously, who absolutely knows her. But every time she bumps into her in a local shop or a coffee shop or a pub, she kind of looks straight through her and ignores her and doesn't even, and it may be with the psychology of why do people do this? So I don't know if you've ever had that dreadful experience where you've seen someone who's not your best mate or your family, but you know them and you sort of waved at them, caught their eyesight, and they turn away as if
ignored you.
Yeah, and you're left waving, thinking, "Ooh." Yeah.
And then you sort of pretend you're waving at somebody else to save you the embarrassment,
or trying to brush your hair. So I thought that we're obviously trained psychologists. So I thought, well, some people say we probably should see a trained psychologist, but I thought we just said, what's the psychology here? So this you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Where you see someone in the distance who you sort of vaguely know, and you think, oh my God, I hope they're not coming my way because I just don't want to chat away. What is it?
I think it's, if you're close enough to somebody, so you know them really well, you've got an immediate affinity, haven't you? In that you've got, like, if I meet you in the street, generally speaking, I'd come and say hello, guy.
Oh, good.
And I'd even. I mean, there's an episode of Alan Partridge. I don't know whether you've seen it, where he's. And I'm just trying to think of what the guy's name was, but he's trying to attract the attention of somebody who he's met as an acquaintance, who's on another side of the fence from him, and he's shouting at him. He's going, Alan. Oh, it's not Alan. It's obviously Andrew. And this guy, you can see, can hear him, but he's completely ignoring him.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. And that, I suppose, it depends upon how the person who's being summoned or how much they want to associate with the person who's saying hello to them. Do you not think? Do you think it's...
I think it might be that. But if I think about it when it's me who hopes that the person who's coming towards me is going to go down a side road or something, or their phone's going to ring, I think, and if I don't know them that well, but I kind of know them, it's more, I've left home to go and do something. And I've probably allowed myself a little bit of time and not too much to do it. The last thing I need is now to be stuck with you. They're trying to say, how's the family? How's the kids? Are you going on holiday? And all that sort of stuff that really is.
They know you. I mean, they probably know in advance you're a schmoozer. So that they're probably thinking to themselves, oh, well, we'll have a long conversation, because they wouldn't. They wouldn't with me. I think they'd be thinking, because I'm more of a, lovely to see you. I'm in a rush. I've got to go. See you soon, or what have you. We'll have to chat sometime, but not now. And I'd be off. But you're more of a sort of, oh, how's the kids? What's the weather like? Have you been doing with the house? I saw you were in the car the other. And that's probably why you get that, isn't it? Do you not think? Psychology,
it could be.
That they know.
It could be.
You're a I was going to say sociopath. That's not a social animal. You're
I am a social animal. I mean, I know people who are far more of a social animal than I am, but I do, like chat. But equally, sometimes when I'm time limited, I sort of think, oh my God, but you have to, it's a social norm, isn't it? If you're literally walking past someone who you know reasonably well, you sort of feel obliged to stop. But
so do you think this is because looking back in history, if you go back to the 50s, it does seem that there was two gentlemen meeting each other in the street back in the 50s. And you can imagine, I'm setting the scene here. They're in their sort of trench coats or what have you, and they're wearing trilbies, and two gentlemen in the street meeting each other and knowing each other. One would tip their trilby and say, how do you do? And they'd just wander past, and that would be all that was necessary, or good day to you, sir, or whatever. They wouldn't have to engage in a long, drawn-out conversation. Why have we moved on from that? Why can't we just not, it was very British stiff upper lip, wasn't it? Very sort of, and that's how days of empire, I guess. That's how things functioned in those days. They were a lot less inclined to be touchy-feely and want to know what's happening in other people's lives. They weren't. That's not, I suppose that's a degree of where we are, how socially we've moved on in that. Once upon a time, what's happening in other people's lives was none of your business, sir. That's what I'm doing at home or what have you. It wasn't for general conversation, but now, a lot more conversation, a lot more goes into these.
Somebody wants to talk to you.
Do you not think you might be able to get your trench coat out? Have you got a trench coat?
Yeah, I have. Well, I've got a shorter version, one that sort of ends just below the knee.
Right.
Not the trench as in the long trench coats, but
and a trilby. You got a trilby?
No.
To keep the head warm.
I wonder what you're going to say for a minute.
Keep your head warm in the winter.
Yeah, I probably could do with it. Okay, well, let's bring it a little bit closer to home. So I'm talking about sort of when you're out and about and you randomly meet someone. But what about what do you like with your neighbours? So, you've got neighbours both sides and across the road, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Are you a sort of good morning, how are you, or are you just a good morning and that's it?
Well, we talk to one side. Jude goes across there and helps with all sorts of things. So we talk
friendly
generally, and on the other side we've got lots in common because they've both got dogs, so whenever we meet we've got something to talk about, because I have found that in the past with other neighbours that if you've got nothing in common, I know you in the gated enclosure you sort of talk about how people get in and out and all that type of thing.
Well, we talk about keeping everyone out. Basically, that's the most important thing.
But we talk about we do talk about dogs. We've all got dogs in all three of these houses.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's easy then.
Yeah. It's a little. They just recently, a year or so ago, they got themselves a dog next door. So so we get along, but we're not. Maybe Jude is more than I am, but we're not. We don't go away on a holiday together or anything like that, or take part in social events. Generally, we sort of know we're past the time of day, but there's nothing.
You don't think your neighbours, they go back inside and they go, "Gosh, Sean, all he ever talks about is dogs."
Probably. You don't know, do you? Because they're not. I mean, long-standing friendships. I mean, I've known you since we were, goodness knows how long, but there's no awkwardness, is there? When you and I get together, we just
never.
It just flows, doesn't it? It's just
it does.
But then I'm not very good.
Verbal diarrhea is the
expression
you're looking at.
Then we come back to people that are. Conversation is difficult, isn't it? If you don't know somebody's background properly, you do skirt the surface and try and avoid. I mean, we've had this avoid politics and avoid religion and avoid anything that might be.
That's what we said last week.
Contentious. Yeah. And I think that's the same with neighbours. I wouldn't talk to them about where they're going to vote for at the next election.
No, you've got to know the person, have you, if you're going to start doing that. But so my experience with neighbours is it's you actually get on a lot better with them once you've done a project together.
Okay.
So if you have say a share, just drop the mic. Sorry, listeners, I probably just deafened everyone.
This is very professional, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called dropping the mic, isn't it? That's the thing. But so if you've got, say, a joint board and you have to work on something and then you just spend time helping each other out, and that always works. Another neighbour of ours, they've let us use their holiday home, which was really nice. And another neighbour, this morning I was down the gym with him, gave him a lift. So but these are people we've known for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit easier, but it's not so much those sorts of conversations. It's, as I said, the sort of casual bumping into somebody who you sort of know, but you haven't got a lot in common, or you just don't know enough about them. They're the ones that are a little bit tricky.
Are you ultimately saying you avoid people? Is that what you're saying?
I don't avoid them. I wouldn't blank somebody, but that has happened to me the other way around, to be blunt.
And who, I mean, you can't tell me, but why do you think
I sometimes think some people are socially awkward, aren't they? Just either don't want to or can't do the small talky stuff.
And could it be also that, I mean, I've had this on a number of occasions myself when I've seen people and for the likes of me, and it gets worse and worse as you get older, I can't remember what the name is and I can't remember who they are.
Yeah.
And that is then a situation where you, hello, well, it's lovely to see you. And especially if there's more than three of them, and somebody then says, oh, this is Sean or what have you. And you're thinking, oh, of course, I've got to introduce so-and-so. I can't remember that now. Wow. And you try and desperately to change the subject. Have you had that happen? That you're thinking, oh my God. And you're thinking, did you see that thing on the television last weekend? Because you want to move it away from having to introduce somebody whose name you can't remember.
Well,
who are you anyway?
I can't remember the last time that happened, but I can see it happening. There was a lady down the gym who does some of our classes together. She's ever so nice, but she started calling me one of my other friends' name. And it was one of those awkward moments where do you turn around and sort of go, nah, I'm Guy.
Did you, or did you just answer to it?
I didn't. I figured that if we left it long enough, she'd figure it out, because there's enough classes where the instructors call out your name and stuff. She'd figure it out. Yeah. So I was too nice. So
you saved her the embarrassment.
Yeah. See you anyway. I must rush because I've run out of small talk, Sean. So nice to see you. Lovely to catch up.